Hi, I'm Mary Director, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. You can also find out more information on my blog, which was http://createskards.blogspot.com. Okay, and if you do go to my blog, there's lots of tutorials, information about Stampin' Up! Products. Today we're going to go over some sponging techniques that are easy to do and add a little bit of pizzazz to your cards. The first one we're going to do is the sunrise or the sunray technique. It looks like a sunset or a sunrise because of the angling of the colors. Another way you can do it is a sunburst, where you come from the center out and then put a central focal point. We'll also do some cloud techniques using scallop circles. And then if you notice, this is a sneak peek at a new Big Shot die that we're going to have as of August 1st in our holiday mini. And here's another sponging technique using a negative positive of the cutouts and sponging on the outside and using sponge daubers in the interior. So this is a sneak peek at the design. Also, it's outlined with a new gold marker that we have. We have a gold and a silver marker that are going to be in the holiday mini, which are just really great and nice, opaque, easy to write with. So let's get started. You're going to take your card base. This is a standard A2 card. So when it's folded, it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm taking a piece of paper that's approximately 2 inches wide by 6 inches long. The important part is that it have a perfectly straight edge. To do the sunrise effect, we're going to use So Saffron in our classic inks. I'm also using a sponge. From Stampin' Up!, the sponges come in sets of 3. I take each round and cut it into 6 pirate wedges, and then these can be rinsed out with soap and water in your sink. Just be sure afterwards that you rinse out your sink extremely well. Another way you can do the sponging is with our sponge daubers, and the sponge daubers are nice to use. I don't use them as often. I use the sponges more often. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to get some ink on our sponge, and we're going to start down in the lower corner, and we're going to sponge in. Most of the ink, the heavy pressure points, will be on the darker cardstock. Then we're going to shift this up, and you're going to want to leave a little bit of white area in between so that it acts like, the sunlight coming through. And then we're going to proceed up. And you just, you can go as far apart as you want. Again, just be sure that as you do this, see how the lines are? That's because I'm using a heavier hand on the edge of this cardstock and more lightly inking as I go up. And it's really great to use this as the straight edge. Makes it a lot easier. And you'll find down in this bottom center here, I'm going to get more of a layering of ink because of the way this is being done. Okay. And again, the spacing is totally up to you. Okay, I'm just going to do half, but this way you can see how it's going around. And what you're going to do is just continue to move this around, sponging as you go, until you get the completed background. Okay. Then with this one, it's a Sunburst, so it's from the center. So when you're doing it, you're doing the same thing, except start with one of your corners and just ink down to approximately the center. Then shift over, do the same thing, shift over. And it doesn't have to be exact center because you can, you can put something to cover the very center anyway. Again, shifting with each one. And then, again, we're going to go over and over and over. And then all the way around. And then putting your centerpiece here. So that will give the sunburst effect for this. I'm going to set this aside. Okay. With the negative, positive, I went ahead and I punched out 2 hearts. I'm going to put them where I'd like them on the card. I'm going to use some real red. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sponge on the outside of this. Actually, if you have dado, you could put a little bit of dado down, or you could just go and do one image at a time. Until you get it as dark as you want. Then lift this up. Put your other image down. And again, it's just lightly, you can either pounce up and down or you can pull it away. Either way works. Okay. Gives the effect. Then what we can do is go along the edge to add a little more color, a little more definition. And there you go. And this would be the same as this one. And I could outline it with one of our markers and then, put a smaller heart in there. This is from our heart framelits. Then here is the negative. This is what the hearts were cut out of. I made it the exact same size as the card front. So I could just go ahead and glue it on that way if I wanted. Or I can take the sponges, and I can just sponge over the top here and fill it in with color. Actually, this looks nice as a layering here too. And again, doing it as light or as dark as you'd like. So you could do it this way, or you could do it this way. And then give me just a second. I realized that I don't have my scallop circle to show you how to do the clouds. Just a moment. Okay, I apologize for that. I have our 2 3/8 scallop circle. I'm going to go ahead and just punch it out of Whisper White cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and take, this could be any color. I just happened to pick the Whisper White. It was handy. Okay. I'm going to use Island Indigo for the clouds, but you could use any color blue you wanted. And what we're going to do is sponge over the scallop. And then as we sponge, see how it's starting to form little like clouds? And there's no right or wrong way to do this. It's just a matter of placing and sponging. Placing, and sponging. And as you start to do this, the clouds start to form. And you're going to put more ink on the scalloped edge to give you the definition of your clouds. Can you see how they're forming here? Almost looks like a storm brewing. You could, if you did want to make it look like a storm, you could add a little bit darker colors in it. If you wanted it to look like a sunset, add some oranges and pinks. This is pretty to do and add butterflies or add a little bird. And again, there's no right or wrong way on the positioning. I just go ahead and I rotate it back and forth, different positions, so the clouds aren't identical. And it doesn't take very long to fill it in. It works really well this way. Almost done. Okay, this can be either kept, used for something else. And then if you want, again, sponge the edges. And it's just a matter of getting ink on, and then I just go straight up and down. If you want more of a feathered, tilt your sponge in just a little bit. And there's your clouds. Just go ahead and then embellish however you'd like. What I did with this one is I punched out some of our elegant butterflies. I added in a little bit of our new dazzling details in silver. That'll be in the Holiday Mini also. In this one, I actually layered the butterflies. There's 2 layers there. They're on dimensionals. And then the butterflies are our elegant butterfly paper punch, but I used the new gold and silver markers to add the accents to the butterflies. Let's see if I can give you a little bit of a close-up. And then again, this is one of the new leaves. That's one of our big Z dies in the Holiday Mini. So that's the lesson for today. If you have any questions, please go to my blog. There will be a blog post about the video in the next couple of days. KreatesKards.blogspot.com. And again, I'm Mary Director. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thank you for watching my video. I appreciate it. Bye.